What is up, everybody? So, this is another edition of Fanboys Live. This is the Jersey Girl edition, so we don't expect a whole lot of people to be here. I'm just kidding. It's a good movie. You can't say it's not a good movie. So this is the Jersey Girl edition. The same crew as always. Me, myself. You know who I am. I hope because you're here. We have Raging Cajun Comics, JD. Neighbor to the north, you can find him on IG, and TM Nerdy. Why did I do that bad on DJ Link? Never mind. Literally just did it. So this is basically us, our another entry into our series of reviewing all of Kevin Smith's movies because we're huge Kevin Smith fans, and just talking about them and maybe saying why we liked them or what we didn't like about them. So let's look at the chat. We have Bleeker's here. Nice. All right.
Yes,
wow.
We are.
Yeah,
so much support.
Yeah.
I love it.
We get the one person in here that hates Kevin Smith in the chat right now.
How much Kevin has entered the chat. Yeah, we know how much you enjoy these, Bleeker. These are like your favorite thing to look forward to every couple weeks.
Jersey Girls, Bleeker's favorite.
I think it would. I think
Did he get a
100%
tattoo?
that.
I think he got a tattoo.
His favorite is Jersey Girl because it gives him a chance to cry and laugh at the same time. Which what more could you want in a movie?
And I heard he's a really big J-Lo fan too. And Bleeker leaves.
I love how we're just like ramping on the only person in the live chat. You're like,
please,
you know what? Bleeker's here. You know what?
God.
Fuck you, Bleeker.
Oh, this is so great. So we're doing this on my channel, so this is going to be interesting because if you've ever watched any of my live streams, this movie came out in, I am completely unprepared, 2004?
2004.
Nailed it. So
I have it right here actually on DVD.
There we go. A little product placement here.
And it's nicely signed by Kevin Smith as well. I found this for $2 at my shop.
Signed?
Just in the
signed
for no, he didn't even know it was signed. It was just there, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is signed."
That does look an awful lot like Kevin Smith's signature, so I'm guessing that is signed.
And he's right up there in the corner, just peeking down,
Yeah.
Oh man.
I thought it was cool for $2.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
When Kevin Smith was still in his he looked like a D&D master comic book collecting.
He was like the next level down from like George R.R. Martin. Like that's just not his next progression.
Yeah,
would have been that.
Well, it was only the last couple of years, right? The last couple of years, I think it was like, was it? It was 2020 that he had his heart attack, or 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
2019,
and that's when he started to gradually lose all that weight.
This movie did bomb at the theater.
It did.
Yeah.
Of course it did.
And what people like, this was my first time watching the movie too, because everybody was hating on it. So I was like, you know what, I'll watch it eventually, but it just kept getting pushed away. I'll watch this another. So I'm glad that we actually did this movie. It's not in continuity with the movies the only thing that it has in continuity is the View Askew.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, it has nothing to do with Jane Silent Bob or any of those characters in like the Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy movies that we've been doing.
There's multiple characters. They're not characters, but actors who appear in this movie. And you get some cool cameos in there. So I mean, you have what was it? Rick Darris is in one. He's one of the guys who starts talking about when he's doing the Fresh Prince thing. I forget the actor's name. He's there. There's a bunch.
He did fill this movie with a lot of actors he knew, and then a lot of actors he surprisingly got in this movie. And that I don't think, to me, watching this movie for the first time, I got so like I was crazy. I never got told that Will Smith was actually in this movie. So like going through it and seeing that was like the first like talked about thing, and like I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, like that kind of. I literally asked myself this question because I haven't seen this movie in years. So like when he walked up and he was checking in at the desk, I was like, so you just had a guy walk up to the desk and you could shoot his hand, but you didn't like you couldn't. You used his name in the movie and everything, but he didn't want to be in the movie. And then he sits down, and I was like, oh, okay, there you go. Okay, he was being dramatic. Sorry, I was being impatient. Sorry, Kevin.
I mean,
I'll give you time.
Speaking about Will Smith, I know we were talking backstage, and like the original date that this was supposed to go on before we took our little hiatus was literally a week after the Grammys, and it just would have been perfect timing just to throw this down, 5 days after the whole Chris Rock Will Smith fiasco, because it's basically the same thing minus the hand slap.
Minus the hand slap. I mean, I think you hit on something. What if? Because he knows him from Dogma. What if he would have cast Chris Rock in this movie, and it would have been Chris Rock and Will Smith, and then Chris. And
Rock Jason Lee even refers to it as you pulled the Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
he called it the Fresh Prince.
It would have been so epic. This happened in a movie.
And this description is going to make anybody who's not watched Jersey Girl want to go watch Jersey Girl now.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, it's really great how everything worked out.
And I first time watching it, I really enjoyed this movie, and just so everybody knows, J-Lo is in it, but she dies early on in the movie, and then you can enjoy the rest of the movie without her. And if you want to see J-Lo die,
there you go.
Yeah.
So first, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go around and give the general thing we normally do, where we just be like, when you first saw this, what you think of it, what you thought of it before, what you think of it now, and do that. So we'll start with my dude up here, Mr. JD.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in, Beef It and Bleeker. So this movie I saw years ago. When it first came out, I didn't see it in theaters, but when it came out on, I think, DVD, I watched it and I totally enjoyed it, actually. I was surprised just because that was almost the same time when Ben Affleck and J-Lo broke up. It was the same time when they filmed the other movie. We'll just won't name it because it was pretty horrible. And I sat down, watched it, and I was like, I actually like this movie. I'm going to watch it again. And it gave me the Disney feel because J-Lo dies right at the beginning. And I was like, holy crap, they dropped the bomb right in front at the beginning. And then you basically have a kid. He has to learn how to raise a kid, and the parts where he goes into it and actually starts getting feelings because he didn't want to be attached to his child. And it's a good feeling movie. I enjoyed the ending. I like how it ends. And I rewatched it a couple of weeks ago, and I was watching it again earlier today. And I still like it as I do the first time. So I recommend it. If you're a Kevin Smith fan, you'll like the movie. You're not going to keep your expectations super high like, other movies. But when you watch it, it's a feel-good movie. So that's my 2 cents on it. And I'll watch it again probably in a month or two because that's how much I like this movie. How about you, TM? What you got?
Yeah, I overly enjoyed this movie. It was really good, and even if you're not a Kevin Smith fan, you should definitely watch this movie because it didn't feel like a Kevin Smith movie. Like, it did have some of the characters he uses and his wife in the movie, but other than that, it was fantastic. And to see Ben Affleck in that role of taking care of his daughter, and her acting was on par with everything. She narrated the beginning pretty much. And because she was telling a story to her classmates about who he was and who her dad was. So we got the understanding of him in the beginning of the movie. So I thought that was great. And George Carlin, man, this was the first serious role he played. And because you normally see him in comedic roles, and that this was the most down to earth person. And he was a great father to Ben Affleck's character. I forget his name in the movie.
His name
Brad,
is really
was
weird.
it Brad?
What was his name?
Brad, I think. Maybe.
No, it was like started with an E. Like it was like Evan Tinkle, or it was something really weird.
Tinkle.
Like he gave him like the weirdest name I think he could have gave a main character for a movie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Pops because his name's
Oh,
Pops.
no.
Are you talking about Ben Affleck or are we talking about George Carlin?
Ben Affleck was who I was talking
Oh,
about.
Ollie.
Ollie
That's
Tinkle.
it.
Ollie, yeah.
Trinket.
Ollie Trinky.
Trinket.
Trinket, that's it.
And then some of like the funniest scenes that I ever seen, like you have that scene where like Ben Affleck and what's her name are in the like cafe, and like she's just like, how many times do you masturbate? Like, and it's just a conversation you never thought like, and like her coming right off of like the precipice of being on like freaking Lord of the Rings at that time, because that came out at the same time, and like having her in this movie was like, I was impressed. I was impressed with all of the cast in this movie, the overall story, like it, like I don't know, Kevin even rips on this movie, but like, dude, it was pretty good. And I think the thing that was holding it back the most was the J-Lo thing, because like I didn't know half of these characters were in this movie because J-Lo was like shadowing me, saying, no, you don't want to watch this movie because she's in it. So,
and it's funny because she's actually not listed on. She's not listed on the title, right? It's got Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler, Jason Biggs. Not even in the photo at all. So, I thought that was interesting.
Man,
maybe if
Liv Tyler's character, I liked her.
So
man.
So good. She reminds me a lot of the who was the character in Mallrats, the girl who does the sex study.
Yeah,
that's like is she kind of like
character?
No.
No.
That's really ironic. She was doing the same thing. They both have dark color hair. Like it's literally like he was trying to cast her, but older.
Yeah, I could think that, but it wasn't. Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Unusual.
No, because like he did mention like where she went off. I forget what she went off to do at the end of Mallrats.
Yeah.
But he was trying to get away from that because that movie flopped for him at the time.
Yeah.
So that never became a cult thing until like I think after Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Mm-hmm.
Mallrats became like an actual movie where people were like, "Oh, I love this movie." It became a cult.
Where can I see more of these two?
Which actually should have been our. That actually came out before this. Right?
Yeah, that came out before this one.
The Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back came out in what, like 2002 or 2001?
2001, I think it was, because me and all my friends were like, "Oh my god, they made another one! We got to go see this in theaters."
So we screwed up.
That's okay.
Well, what did you think of this movie? Since you do have like the actual movie.
Okay, so when I originally saw it, it was basically I had watched it because I heard it was Kevin Smith's worst movie to date. And that's the original reason why I watched it back in 2004. And to be honest, 2004 I would have been 22 years old, 21, 22 years old, and I didn't like it. I mean, I thought, it wasn't for me. It wasn't, I was coming off like seeing Strike Back and Dogma, and all that, and it was just like, wow, this is weird, but and I hadn't watched it up until probably about 2 months ago, when we were doing the review, or going to do the review in the first place, and I watched it again, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. I thought Ben Affleck's character was what he wanted to do in the first place. Because remember, like in Mallrats, he didn't want to be cast as like as a bad guy or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Chasing Amy was kind of like he never really got his sort of redemption in Chasing Amy. It sort of was just the ending just happened. It was, you don't really know totally what happened. But this is like you see him start off as being kind of an asshole, and then he gets his redemption arc in this movie. And you see it progress. And like all you guys were saying, the casting on this was just incredible. I thought, landing those big name guys were just like you said, like Liv Tyler after coming off of like Lord of the Rings. You still got your Jason Lee, you still got your Matt Damon in cameos. They got Stephen Root in there too, which was hilarious. He was probably doing Dodgeball at that time, or maybe no, would have been maybe like Office Space. Would have been that would be like 2001 as well, 2000 Office Space. So, I mean, those are the casting was just amazing. I loved it, and the movie itself was it was so different, and I liked seeing a feel good Kevin Smith movie. There's still there's still the jokes in there. I laughed my ass off a few times, so yeah, all in all, it was definitely a change from when I watched it the first time, and I'm glad I did rewatch it again. Because honestly, if we weren't doing this, I probably would have never picked it up again. I don't leave it.
That's a good
so
segue.
My question is, will you watch it again?
I watched bits and pieces of it again just today to kind of refresh for when we were doing this. But will I watch it again in its entirety? Maybe I'll let it sit for a year. So.
All right. All right.
It's not on my high list.
No, it's not something you're just like, what, I feel like watching Jersey Girl today.
I think we should, since you picked up the DVD for like $2, I think we could all go out and buy the DVD, and then we all post it on Instagram and just be like, I watched Jersey Girl and I loved it.
Just trying to ignite like a resurgence of Jersey.
That's what happened with Mallrats, man. People, one person loved it, and then it just trickled, and it just went, and then a lot more people started watching it and being like, oh, I do like this movie. This movie might be up your alley. You may not know that unless you watch it. Don't listen. It brings us to the point of what's going on in media today, and what people are like, oh, I hated that, I hated this, and then it might be actually something you like. So don't listen to other people's suggestions. Make it your own opinion on something and watch it. Go watch Jersey Girl.
This is one of the movies that they could potentially release today, and it doesn't have anything offensive.
No.
That'd be quite it's a pretty clean movie.
Well, yeah,
some things like Dogma and Chasing Amy. You couldn't re-release that now in 2022 and get away with that. It had its place in time, but you could definitely do this.
Yeah, it's a romantic comedy. It's hard. I think it would be hard. It's like a formula. It's hard to find a romantic comedy that wouldn't hold up well just if you wanted to ever redo it and put it back out. Look what they did with oh my God, they've redone a bunch of them over years, especially ones from the 70s and stuff. They've redone them around here.
So what do you think about Tylux? We haven't heard your part. Did you like the movie?
So yeah, when I watched it when I was younger, I was like, yeah, and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, whatever. But then I rewatched it today, and it is a lot better now that you're older. Maybe that's what it is. You got to be older and to enjoy it or whatever. But I really enjoyed it. I'm a huge George Carlin fan. He's my number one stand-up comedian, and the fact to see him playing such a serious role and him acting is incredible because it just shows, dude, the man was on all cylinders. He could do it all. He could act. He could do comedy. He was Mr. Conductor, for God's sakes. He was, he's done it all, and he could do it all. And Liv Tyler, I've had a crush on Liv Tyler since I was old enough to have a crush, because she was in all the Aerosmith music videos with Alicia Silverstone, stuff like that. They were all in music videos together. So I've always thought she's adorable. I've always it's really weird how if I'm thinking about it, I don't ever think she's had something that she was in the Aerosmith videos, and those were all hits in the 90s. And then she was in Lord of the Rings. That was a hit. Armageddon, box office hit. Like, I mean, everything she's pretty much done has been good. Like, I don't think there's any movie that I've seen of hers that's not been good. Like, or like a box office blockbuster. So it did kind of throw me off for a minute because I was like, wait, is this the same girl from Mallrats who's doing this? Is this her? And so yeah. But let's see what else. Yeah, the casting. Oh my God, his dad's friends. Yeah, like dude from Office Space and Dodgeball.
There you go, Bleecker Empire Records.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Empire Records. Was that the one with Jack Black in it? No, there was a. No, I'm thinking of something else.
No, it had a good cast though. I forget who's all in there. I'll look it up while you continue.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. The arguments between him and his kid and having to learn how to like, dad or whatever when it's obvious. Maybe he would have thought like it was like his character maybe thought one day he would get there, but then as things go along, it's just like everything was a constant struggle. Like the whole they got pregnant, and then like it was him trying to do his career and help do the things that he needs to do with his wife being pregnant, and losing his wife, like having to work and raise the kid at the same time. Oh my God, him going off at the press conference was just,
man, the funniest scene. Like you're talking about him trying to be a father and that when like his daughter and the other boy are up in the bedroom and they're like showing the parents at that, like he sits them down and it's just like, what's your intentions with my daughter? Like I'm like, what a way to like deal with the situation. And then it gets flipped on him later in the episode when he's sitting there with Liv Tyler.
It's so great because like it's just literally like it's just really, I mean, because I mean I've never been a parent, but like you have awkward situations that arise like that. But how do you deal with it?
The joke where she's like, "Is yours as big as his?" Sadly, yes.
Sadly, yes.
It's just like it's just so low key, but it's like the jokes were very subtle in this movie, and I loved it. I thought it was like it's something you could watch with you could watch this movie with your kid because there's like no swearing in it, really, hardly.
Well, there's some,
but I mean it's not like the language isn't
like what I said earlier about like the whole like the cafe scene with Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck. It's like, I masturbate this many times. It's like, oh no, we're gonna go have sex now. So you kind of like have to explain that like to your kid. But
he's like, I completely forgot about that part.
Well, you get the parts where the kids are showing their parts, so that's a awkward moment right there at the beginning.
And the weird part is,
I just love how he dealt with it. Like that's like
any questions. Wait, like you couldn't really look at her.
I thought it was the first time I saw it. I was like, probably never watch this again. Now I would watch it here and there. I don't think I would rent it again, but if it shows up for free, I'd be like, if I saw it on streaming services, I'd be like, oh, it's Jersey Girl.
No, we all agreed we're gonna go buy it.
You paid money to watch this movie?
Yes, I paid $3.99 to watch this movie.
So did I.
We're all gonna plan to go out and buy the DVD.
I have the Blu-ray. So.
Oh, he's ahead of us, and so is Neighbor of the North. It's all up to us.
Me and Tim are the only ones that got to get on the ball here.
Yep.
So let's go back to this. Ooh, not that one. Okay, well that is better. Okay, so let's go back to this one. So yeah. Okay, so let's take it from the top, I guess. What are your favorite moments in the movie? Like some of the stuff that just stands out to you that just was like what made the movie for you when you rewatched it. We'll just go around in a circle. So we'll start with Neighbor.
All right. My favorite parts. I mean, I like George Carlin's seriousness. I thought that was really good. I thought the way he kind of got to Ben Affleck and you know, when he's talking to Ollie and he's like, you know, explaining how to be a father. It's like we don't really get a lot of the backstory of their relationship. We get a little bit, but we don't really. So it almost seems like it's almost like a redemption arc for him as well. You know, trying to be a better parent in the future and trying to get his son to be a better parent as well, right? You know, I don't really know for sure, but I would guess that maybe they didn't really have like the closest relationship, you know, with him being like a PR mogul there, and you know, him being away all the time, right? There's probably not you know, probably not that relationship there, right? So this kind of like bonded them together. I thought that was really cool. You know, with me being like, for me, I moved away really, really young, and I lived, you know, multiple cities across the country and pretty far away from my parents. You know, and now I'm actually close to my dad, and I'm within like 20-minute drive from him. So it's, I kind of, that resonated with me, and I thought that was really cool. Again, like the comedic stuff, like Liv Tyler, the video shop scenes where he's like the bye bye guys is like that, just like she's calling out to her partner in the store, is like when she asked for like a synopsis of Bye Bye Guys or something like that out loud, and like, you know, do you always rent porn with your family here, or is this just a one-time thing?
He's winging it here. He has no clue what he's doing. That was one of the
So,
he just
that was one of my favorite ones.
Well, that's why you don't do a blind grab in that room. Hey,
No.
you never do a blind grab in that room.
You don't have a kid.
Like, oh my god.
Do those rooms still exist?
I mean, I don't think so. I think that's a lost art.
I think they're actually like now just specialty shops that you just go into, and it's like
I have been in a specialty shop and just browse with like a girl that I was seeing at the time, just to get a little bit like.
Can we
didn't purchase anything. We thought about it, but then we were like, yeah, the prices are crazy, man. Like, you want to get into some crazy shit, go down the sex aisle. Yeah, but getting back to the movie.
Hey,
what else, man? I mean, like the Will Smith, the press conference was great, because he's like, you know, he's trying to change the diaper before, and like the delivery guy comes up, the bike courier, and he's like, it's like trying to explain how to change a diaper, and you know, like, you know, you don't wipe from back to front, you know, you get that crotch rot and stuff, and he's like pouring the baby powder on there, and he walks out, and there's like, you know, he's like, is that blow on your shirt? Like, yeah, it's Hollywood. Yeah. So, I'll leave some for you guys, but those two are like standout moments for me, or those three. But I guess we go down.
Yeah, go down to JD.
Specialty shops, yes.
That was a great part, but I love when he was trying to open it, and it did get on him where it looks like Coke, and then he asked, is that enough? He's all, add more. A lot more.
What's up, Sheena?
I enjoyed that part, but George Call, I think, nailed it, where he was a loving father, but he just told you straight out, non-filter, trying to get him to love his child. And oh my god, I think he killed it, because he had his comedy and the seriousness in it. I love the Will Smith part where he meets him at the end, and it kind of goes all around, where he talks shit about him at the beginning, and at the end he gets to talk to him, and he actually changes his life and saying, you know what, my kid is my world. And I totally love that part. And then Liv, oh yeah, of course, you see her there, and then the shower scene, you gotta love it. That time you're like, oh damn, she's hot. That was a favorite part of mine, because she goes to the daughter goes to the restroom, flushes the toilet, and they start screaming. And that's the part where we were talking about where, what's your intentions with my father? That was the perfect twist. Like, that one made me laugh. I love this. I think I love it more than all three of you, which is cool, because I like to hear different points of views, and this is why we're doing it.
The dialogue's very, very Kevin Smith. You can tell that it's deep enough that you can see the progression from Chasing Amy, where he took bits and pieces from Chasing Amy, and that sort of that sort of dialogue, and just kind of like he made Dogma next, and he made another funny one, but you could tell he wanted to bring it back and kind of re-explore that again, right?
Dogma was before this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I totally love the beginning because he basically did like a Disney-ish kind of movie where he gave you tragedy right at the beginning and he did the whole movie after, which was like, I was like, oh, dude, I didn't expect that.
Which is funny because you would think Disney, that would be the opposite, but like all their movies are like that.
Yeah, all their movies are like that. And you didn't even see her on the picture, as you said, on the poster. So I didn't even expect J-Lo other than hearing about her. So I was wondering, and I was like, oh, she's at the beginning. And then she died, and I was like, oh, crap.
I literally was like, I thought J-Lo was in this movie.
Do you think it would have been written differently? Like, because this was obviously planned for a while, right? Like, movies aren't just like, oh, wake up and let's make a movie.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, this was planned when they were together as a couple. Do you think the script may have changed a few times, knowing, seeing, like, the breakup and,
I think the casting would have definitely changed. He definitely wouldn't have had J-Lo in the movie had it like, been Sans breakup or whatever. He would have definitely Kevin would have cast somebody else probably in the movie, but I don't know.
Yeah, and it was probably real quick because it wasn't the official breakup until I think finishing the movie is when they broke up. So I think they were fighting. Plus, she wasn't through the whole movie. She was just the beginning, and then she wasn't there.
That makes me wonder if that had any bearing on how the movie was written. Like, did he have it written differently, and then all of a sudden, yeah, it's over, and he was like, oh, I gotta kill her off.
Now we gotta kill her off at the beginning, right? Like,
maybe he was gonna wait till later to do it or something like that.
No, I don't know. Liv Tyler, like she played such a big part in the movie, so I don't know.
Well, that's true.
No, I think that it was like that because you had it was based on the father and daughter connection in the whole movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, because like JD said, like the movie was all about like he lost his job in the early beginning and then it was him trying to like raise a daughter all by himself, and then trying to catch back that like thinking work is the most important until we come to the ending, and then the ending is like, oh, he comes to the realization that his daughter is the most important. Like JD said,
this could also just be a father-son movie too, like as well, right? Like the relationship between him and Carlin were just as important as Ollie and Gertie's relationship, right? It's
because at the end at the bar where he tells him, I don't want to die alone. So he wanted his son to stay with him. He's like, don't leave me, So that was touching.
Drive safe, Sheena.
Yeah, be careful.
Yes, be careful. Well, those are my parts. Let's shoot it over to TM. What's your favorite parts?
Like I said, I agree 100% with JD and Neighbor of the North. Neighbor of the North for the fact of George Carlin. George Carlin was fantastic in this movie. I absolutely loved it. Like his first serious role. Like you see him in other Kevin Smith movies. You've seen him in Dogma. And then you later on see him in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back first. And he has we'll get to what role he plays in that movie. But this was like a really serious role for him. And then if you go back and like listen to what Kevin Smith has talked about George Carlin growing up and like how his father used to sneak him in to see George Carlin or watch George Carlin on TV. Like Kevin Smith grew up watching him. So to know that and have him in this movie, like he wrote this part for George Carlin and for a very serious role. And like, sadly, shortly after he did pass away, but he was able to make this role for him before he died. So that means something to, and just to see how good he was. Like I never would have thought like George Carlin
the most unlikely person you would portray as being a father either. Right? I mean, George Carlin, like if you listen to his comedy, he's about the most.
I'm trying to think. Does George Carlin have any kids? I don't think he ever had kids.
Oh,
we can
Google
off to the Google machine.
But he killed it as that this role. He killed it, man. Like I loved him. And I do like his comedy, but this one, I think he blew it out of the park, man. Like he freaking water. Sorry, he hit a home run on this one. I don't know. One of my favorite actors on this.
George Carlin has one kid.
Oh, okay.
Kelly Carlin. Yeah. Okay.
Kelly Carlin.
Mm-hmm.
But I did enjoy that part I don't know why I overly enjoyed that like talk between them in like Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck inside the cafe. Like that was just like it threw me off. I didn't expect that. Like I was shocked just as much as Ben Affleck's character was in that scene. Right?
Holy shit!
I love that she was like that outspoken as well. So I really enjoyed her character as much. So I like any scene with them, and then like how well that little girl did. And then she killed it. And I think this was her very first role. Yeah. And how well she did was just unbelievably great. Every step of the movie. Other than that, like I do like the realization at the end with Will Smith. I do have to say that because like that brings us to like the whole meaning of the movie is like him trying to figure out himself as he's raising a daughter. As well, like trying to.
And he insulted Will Smith, right? So he insulted Will Smith, and then Will Smith also. He said he wasn't. He was like, I'm not a smart man, right? If I was a smart man, I would be at home playing with my kids. But I'm like basically alluding to he's obsessed with work, right? So when Ben Affleck did insult him, not the same way, but he didn't really respect Will Smith. And now he's seeing that Will Smith, the successful person, isn't really. He was right. He shouldn't. Maybe Will Smith isn't he isn't a good person, right? Like, he doesn't want to be like that, and maybe he was right about insulting him, right? So, no offense to Will Smith if you're watching, right? Like, I'm sorry.
I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah,
I love you, Will, man. You shaped my childhood.
Just remember, he swings with a right hand, so left up.
Okay. Good. See, these jokes, all this stuff would have been so much better if it was 6 days after.
But I got a question, guys. I got a question. Do you guys like comic books?
Nah, not really.
No. Do you like motorcycle gangs?
I read one all the way through.
Yeah.
Would you like to be part of a comic book community motorcycle gang? Well, you can.
Do I have to have a motorcycle, TM?
No. Do you have a skateboard? You're in. Ridden on a train once? You're in. Had your fiance stolen from a dude on a scooter? You're in. Hell, if you've only seen a picture of a motorcycle, that's good enough for us. We're all united by the love of comic books. Sign up and keep your eyes open for one of many 4CD meetups. We are building quite a community here, and members are meeting up and partying all across the world. And this comic book community gang, motorcycle gang I'm talking about is the Four Color Demons, done by TESD, Tell 'em Steve Dave, and that's their logo there. You can go sign up for free and get your own official Four Color Demons card.
Our unofficial sponsor.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Well, like there's no code like go enter this code and become a free member because it is free. Like, what can we code? Get 15% off of free.
There are more likely patches. Right. There has to be. I mean, like, if they don't have patches.
Actually, yes. You know what? Since it's already, we'll go to the second unofficial sponsor. And where can you get those patches? Well, check out tellemstevedave.com and check out all of what they have because they have patches, they have stickers, they even have hats. Hell, they have zipper lighters with the Four Color Demons comic book. It's a real club. There's about 4,000. I think there's a lot more than 4,000, but there's ton of members. I'm a member, and you can be a member too.
Yeah, Brad's a member as well.
tellemstevedave.com. Check out what they have. You can get t-shirts with the logo on it, or you can get a Tell 'em Steve Dave t-shirt. Tell them I sent you. What'll do for you? Not much, but hell, do something for me.
I was about to say, yeah.
And Bleeker, yes, you have to get a Jersey Girl tattoo.
Yes, you have to get a Jersey Girl tattoo. You have to get a picture of Kevin Smith tattooed on your forehead to be in.
No, man, like he needs to get like I love Kevin Smith or Kevin and then Smith.
Why is there so much hatred for Cats in this? I mean, I personally I like Cats the musical. I thought it was good.
Oh my God! So my favorite moments are the blasting of cats, which was great. What's up, Werewolf? By lunchtime. Like the whole Cats thing with when the daughter wanted to go see Cats, and she got Grandpa in on it, and like George Carlin's like, "Why don't you take her to go see the Cats?" And he like, "The Cats? Who have you been talking to? Like, did she put you up to this?" Like, and it was just so blatant that she put him up to it. And everything that was one of my favorite moments because I mean that kid's just genius. I mean we all did it.
I totally forgot about the whole Sweeney Todd scene. Like she does that at school. Like that was fantastic. What's up, Werewolf? By lunchtime.
But that's funny too because he didn't even know what it was. He even asked his son. He's all, "What's the Cats?" He's like, "It's a musical." He was like, "Oh, really?"
Well, I don't think the movie was out at this point, was it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Cats was out with in the 90s.
Yeah, I
Sweeney Todd.
Cats the play in like middle school. So
yeah, it was a musical many times.
Oh yeah, Cats has been a thing, but I can't remember how long Cats ran. I know it ended, but I was talking about Sweeney Todd because this is like the first time you ever hear about Sweeney Todd as well. It was
a Broadway. It was a Broadway musical before, right? So yeah. Before Tim Burton just adapted it in 2000, I want to say 2007, 2008 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So maybe this Jersey Girl was the reason why Sweeney Todd the movie happened. So
maybe.
There you go.
I mean, it would not be a far stretch to think that Tim Burton and Kevin Smith are friends. Or at least acquaintances. At least they know each other.
I know Kevin Smith and Johnny, but touchy matter, but Johnny Depp are friends.
Yeah, that's true too. That's Johnny Depp has like the weirdest friend group, man. I swear to God, it's like, who are your best friends? And he's like Marilyn Manson, Kevin Smith,
and then the Vision, like,
Alice Cooper, Joe Perry. It's just like you're all over the place, man. Like, let's see. Any other favorite moments? Definitely the part where he said he hadn't been laid in 7 years. The look on Liv Tyler's face was
she's just like, we got to go do this right now.
You need to get on the horseman.
Like you could see it as soon as he said that. You could see the look on her face of like,
yeah, man. That's what I mean. Like that whole scene was just gold. Like
it's
that cafe scene, like one of my favorites.
It's kind of like the same thing as the Chasing Amy cafe scene, where that was like that's one of the pivotal moments. Right, when in Chasing Amy, where he's talking to Jay and Silent Bob, right, and Kevin Smith gives that dialogue, his only big speech that he's done in like basically the movies prior, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you get another pivotal cafe scene where they're it's along the same sort of format, right? In a sense, not the same, but that's a good. It's a turning point in the movie, right? Yeah. A huge turning point in the movie.
But like the touching of those parts is kind of similar to his other movies. Because
you said touching parts, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I was seeing if you're gonna catch that. The movie rentals is like Clerks when he has his the joking parts and then she's joking. The movie is that a 1 or 2 day rental and the kid was walking up. So I thought of
Clerks. Chasing Amy with the Will Smith press conference. It's kind of like the beginning of the movie, right? Where with the whole Comic-Con thing, like he's definitely taken, like, this is not involved in the View Askewniverse at all, right? But he's definitely drawn from a lot of the movies to bring together this serious movie, right? So
something that I didn't quite get, and maybe it's 100%. Like, okay, so
you're on a roll. I'll give you that.
Okay, so the fact that he worked in New York, right? It was New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so him driving back, his dad lives in Jersey, right? Is that really that? Because they were making it out like his dad, when he was getting ready wanting to go back to New York, he was like, "I'll still come see you." I was like, "Dude, Jersey to New York is like."
Okay. It's only like I've never been there, but I know a lot of people who have traveled that way, and it's like the way off to Jersey, like the Jersey Turnpike or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like a nightmare. Like it's like a commute, right? Like it's Jersey City's not like a suburb, but it's super close, right?
Like, yeah,
it's separated by a river.
Away from New York, I was like, dude, you're acting like you're having to drive hours just to come see your dad. Like, I mean,
yeah, but imagine the trappic, man.
Oh,
well, it's gotta be some serious traffic because they do allude to that too. It's like, do you think you're gonna make it home in an hour?
Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah, and I hear like people like they don't travel, like even being so close to it, they don't travel in between.
Yeah,
like, that much, and that might be a reason why.
But it really did treat Jersey like it was a New York suburb because it really was like, okay, there's the big city, and I was like, you're a big city, like you're a major city, like you go
to the New York.
New York is called the Big Apple for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Don't the Jets play in Jersey?
It blew my mind that there's New York, there's Jersey, and Jersey is basically like New York is so big that like Jersey is basically just like an outside suburb.
Yeah.
Of New York. I was like, that's
Kyle, you're a football guy. I'm pretty sure the New York Jets play in Jersey. Like their stadium's in Jersey. I might need to look this up. Anybody in the chat can confirm this, but I think that they play because they're so close. It's
near an airport.
It's not the New Jersey.
I know their stadium's near an airport. No, that's the Mets. So that you might be right.
I think, again, you guys continue. I will look this up.
Yeah,
I need to get to the bottom of this.
Because I kind of want to know now, because I was like...
Because I went to New York once, and I was by Madison Square Garden, and there was no other stadium nearby. And I know the Brooklyns...
That's crazy.
They moved over, because they used to play close to them, and not anymore.
Yeah, MetLife Stadium is located in East Rutherford, New Jersey, home of the New York Jets. So... they are super close that the New York football team is in a different state.
That's crazy. That's
yeah. So I think the commute is like Neighbor the North said, like it is rough. Like, and I've been listening to a lot of Tell 'em Steve Dave, and like even those guys when they talk about going to New York or traveling from New York to, like even the Impractical Jokers guy, because Brian Quinn is part of the Impractical Jokers. They say the commute is rough, and they're all from Jersey.
I mean, I used to live in a suburb of Toronto, and well, not a suburb, but like 20 minutes away drive. But like I've been stuck in traffic for 3 hours.
Oh God!
To get 20 minutes down the 401. So
yeah,
I'm assuming it's probably about the same.
When you say like, I lived in Medicine Hat, Alberta for a while, which is like right beside Calgary. And like if you look on the map, they're like kind of right beside each other, but it's a 3-hour drive. So it's like maybe it's like that. Who knows?
Yeah, I couldn't do major cities. That my road rage I would put Ric Flair to shame. Like I'd be a bull on the side of the road. It makes no sense. Like
I get traffic. I live in California.
I also really like the soundtrack in this movie. The way he placed all the songs and stuff like that. Like the scene where they where like she had passed away and they started playing the George Jones, and I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot this was in there too. And then like it went from like George Jones to like, I mean there was some Fleetwood Mac in here. There was, all these little placements of the music that I really liked as well. I loved when one of George Carlin's friends said, hey, your son's dancing, when he was dancing with J-Lo, and he's like, just looks at her, he's like, who are you, Connie Chung? Like, do I need a news report? What, like, let him dance and shut up. Like, the banter between those three was incredible.
The two uncles, they're not your uncles.
They're not your uncles. Yeah, the uncles were great. What's up,
And
Bookworm?
I just love that he cast Stephen Root. I mean, he's like he's always been one of my favorites. Like ever since Office Space, I just can't. Like he's one of the best.
Nice.
He portrays the same character, but he does it so well. It's so good.
I totally agree. Well, what by lunchtime? Is his birthday this coming week, or did it pass? Happy birthday, brother!
Oh yeah, nice. Oh, I've just seen that.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
Popular
That's
Mechanics promised us all flying cars. The dreams never came true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And Bleeker, I know you hate Kevin Smith, but he did say he loves all of us on the panel. So thank you.
He has me rolling today. He has some good ones today.
Oh my god, so great! I kind of look forward to it now, seeing what he's gonna say in chat.
I've been making me laugh.
He hates Kevin Smith, but he's here for us.
Yeah. We feel the love. Even though I have your tag championship.
Oh,
hey.
So yeah. All right. Let's see. We're 51 minutes in.
Nice.
How do we want to? Yeah, it flew by, didn't it?
Yeah.
Really
it's been a while since we hung out, and you know what? I do miss this, and I did do a couple on my shows, so I did get to see both of you for a little bit, but my brother right here to my right there, missing him on the screen. So I'm happy we're doing this again. So
definitely.
And this will be a regular thing now.
Yes.
Right? We're back on a schedule.
We're back on a schedule. So the next show will be on who's doing Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Am I doing Jay and Silent Bob? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't expect anything flashy. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna put some tickers and stuff. You know, maybe I'll I'll draw scenes and I'll recreate them and like flash them up or something like that, because I don't know.
Or we could just do what we did on this one. This one was
fun.
Just
shoot Roscoe.
So let's go around. We'll let everybody give their final thoughts on Jersey Girl. Also, while you're at it, you can go ahead and say whatever's coming up on your channel. Go ahead and give everybody a little PR. And
give your rate of the movie. What was your?
Oh yeah, we gotta rate the movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta rate it. Oh yeah, let's rate it. Okay.
I think we should rate it. I think we should rate it as what you going into. What's your original thoughts were as a rating, and what's your rating on rewatching, right?
I've only watched it that one time, so like
I want to hear your response for watching it once. What's your rating and all that? So that's the perfect part. I love it, because when you said it was my first time, I was like, okay, a fresh head watching it for the first time. What did you think? And that you gave me some great points that you liked it, so I'm happy. So this started where we started, dude.
Let's start with Neighbor. What you rate it?
All right. So when I first watched it in my 20s, again, like I said, I watched it because everyone told me it was Kevin Smith's worst movie and I need to watch it. So, and at that point, I probably would have given it a solid 5. I wasn't into it at all. I didn't really like, at that time it was like Ben Affleck wasn't like the cool, like, Dazed and Confused guy anymore. He wasn't, Dogma. It was like he was starting to turn,
Hollywood
into the big Hollywood guy, right? So, yeah, I would have given it a 5 at that point. Now watching it again, I would give this a solid 8. I mean,
nice.
To be honest, it's not his best work, but since I'm looking for it. Watching it this time, I'm looking for it to break it down, right? Because that's what we do here. Mm-hmm. We break down the movie and we kind of have a different perspective. But we're not just watching it as a movie, right? Like I'm watching to pick out, different characters I can see from previous movies. I'm looking at all the little details. And I mean, like I said, the script was really well written. The actress who plays Little Gertie was just like, for being 7 or 8 years old at the time, amazing. Like, she did a killer job. The fact that J-Lo wasn't in it for more than like 5 minutes, fantastic. I loved it. We won't talk about that movie because I've unfortunately watched the movie that we do not speak of, and it's horrible. I mean, I rate that even lower than a 5. So, yeah, man, a solid. Like, do you want to plug ourselves after? We'll go on the ratings, and then we'll.
Yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that.
But yeah, seriously, solid 8. I love the cameos. I love Jason Lee and Matt Damon. I thought that was hilarious. You know, Jason Lee just looked so grimy, like he's exactly what when you're going for a PR job, and he's just sitting there, you know, his little stash going, and just like he's like they lose, you know, Matt Damon loses the bet, and you know, it's like he calls it like the Will Smith. You know, there was I like the press conference like
now.
Oh yeah, but just like the people that he brought in. That's what I noticed the second time, because I didn't really pick up on a lot of those things. Like, I didn't notice Rick Derris until looking at it this time. You know, he only gets like one line in there, but you know, there's just like those moments, and yeah, so solid 8. Down to JD.
All right, so the first time I saw this, I gave it a 6.5, 7, because I did like it. But it wasn't the comedy that I usually rate his movies higher. And then rewatching it again and again, I started liking it more. So I'm going to give it an 8.5. One, because it had the feel-good movie, which Kevin Smith normally doesn't really do often. It's usually comedy. And yeah, Baby Gertie killed it for me. George Cole nailed it as well, which carried the whole movie. His comedy, just the way his chemistry with Ben Affleck, I think, was perfect, because I think that's how I see a father talking to his son. It's like, get your ass out of your ass and take care of your kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that was perfect. And he didn't have to swear or anything. He was just saying, wake up. This is your child. Take care of it. And he had to wake up. And Ben Affleck, I never thought he would. I think his crying was too fake, but I did enjoy how he was talking to her before and bonding with her. We're like, I'm never going to let you down. And then midway through the movie, he lashes out and hurts her like really, really bad, and saying that I didn't want you either. And I felt that, because I wouldn't imagine my dad or my mom telling me that. Dude, I would have been devastated. So I like how he fixed that, mended it, and then realized at the end that my daughter is my life and this is what I want to do. So I had that up and down through the whole thing. J-Lo died. That was great. I
love how you just like slipped that in.
Like, 57 minutes and 52 seconds. That's a clip.
But it gave me the tragedy. It gave me the Disney part where, you know what? Whoa, shoot. She just died real quick. And at the end, he has a new girl. The daughter loves him. The uncles were perfect. I give it a good 8.5. I love this more and more every time I see it. It's very underrated. If you just have your expectations low, you will like this movie. So everybody in this movie rocked it. I don't think I have a bad part. Freaking Jason Lee in there throwing the Will Smith was funny, like you said. I love that part, because you get the attachment of all his friends, the universe he created, even though it's separate from all of it. You still had some of them attached to it. So that's my 2 cents. I'll probably watch it again in maybe 2-3 months. It's one of my Kevin Smith movies that I like watching. Let's go to TM. What's your thoughts, brother?
This was my first time watching it, so I'll start off by saying, like, I overly enjoyed this movie. Like, every step of the way, it didn't feel like a Kevin Smith movie, which is all right. Like, it didn't have Jane Silent Bob, and it didn't have Kevin in it himself. It did have his wife in it, but just the whole story aspect of, like, yeah, we did see it all before, like, oh, the wife died and he has to go on with his life. We've seen that part in previous movies, but like, this was 2004, so like, it's a different feeling knowing that it came out. It might have been the first movie that ever played that trope, but it never played the trope of like him putting his job first and then putting his daughter second, and seeing how he's dealing with raising a daughter all by himself. Like, that was amazing how he put it all together, and meeting this new girl, Liv Tyler, and his like George Carlin, like I can't get enough of like saying how much George, like rest in peace George Carlin, but like that was fantastic. Like you guys need to watch this movie just for him, let alone it being actually a good story. And Kevin, if you're listening, which I know you're not, if anybody knows Kevin or knows anybody that knows Kevin, send them this video. Let's all go get together and be like, Jersey Girl. I own Jersey Girl. I've watched Jersey Girl. I love it.
Yeah.
There's very few comedians who translate to that serious role well. You know, and ones that come to mind for me are like Jim Carrey in my favorite movie of all time, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Is that I feel like that's kind of the same. You know, George Carlin with like the complete polar opposite character that he would play. So.
And Baby Gertie, yeah, like I'm not sure if this was her. I'm pretty sure it was her first role, and I'm not sure if she did anything after this or not. But like she was fantastic in this movie, and she did it well. And like the comedic things that happened, like how it foreshadowed something else in the movie. Like I said earlier, like them, literally, like we've all done it as kids too. Like I'm not the only one. I hope that like. Yeah, like we get curious and that like a pivotal thing that happens in normal day life, and like showing him how he dealt with it was just hilarious because I probably would have done the same thing. Man, and then that cafe scene, my God. And like nobody realizes, like I knew about this movie, knew J-Lo was in it, didn't know she died, but knew about like him raising a daughter, and that was it. I didn't know that all of this other stuff, that he was a music, like pretty much executive guy that was like on top of the world in the 90s. And then it all came crashing down because of the whole Will Smith debacle. Like, oh, he'll never become something special in that. And then fast forward, he did become something special, and you just ruined your career. And like, I like what Kevin Smith does in his movies. He always shows like the growth in character. He can grasp that and show the growth of a character like that. And we'll definitely be getting into that in the next movie, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, because he does that with a certain character that you never thought would do that. And you see that growth in that character in like that matter of seconds. And I love it how Kevin Smith can take characters and make you feel for these characters and make you relate with these characters.
What's up, Dave?
So I'm going to give this a whole whopping 9.5.
Oh,
nice.
He's almost going all in.
Yeah.
Hey, just to throw this out on a little digging here. The actress Raquel Castro, she has been in Law and Order. And she's also put out a few songs.
But so this was her first acting, like major acting role. Major.
I would say major movie. Yes. That's her film debut. Yes, is Jersey Girl. And then the rest have been. She was in episodes. I'm assuming as an extra.
Yeah, that's not major either. So
yeah.
Nope, it actually says film debut is Jersey Girl. So yeah, that's pretty damn awesome for film debut. Kind of giving us like an actual solid, non ridiculous child actor sort of thing, right? Like no comedy. She was pretty bang on serious. More of a serious role. I mean, some of the stuff that Kevin wrote for her.
What are your intentions with my father?
Hilarious, but
how did you get him to agree to this? I caught him and what's her name in the shower together, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that'll do it. Yeah."
That was great, man.
That is leverage, like so great.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
You're up, Tylex. What did you think?
So yeah, I love the way he sets stuff up. He'll always like it seems like when Kevin Smith makes a movie and he's like setting stuff up in the future in the movie, he does it perfectly. He knows exactly how to pull whatever emotion he wants to out of you. Really, just and it's not like he's he's a visionary or anything like that. It's just that he's really good at doing it. Like it's like it's something he's gotten really good at. George Carlin being amazing, the character interaction. George Carlin playing a serious role, incredible, just showing his range of what he can do. I mean, Mr. Conductor, serious role, all the comedy stuff he's ever done. Like, you got to think, like, George Carlin was one of the first dirty comedians. Like, back then, being a dirty comedian was not kosher. Like, nobody.
Dirty, but smart. Like, he would swear, and like like people that are like saying like, oh, he swears, man. Like, oh, he must not be intelligent, but like he was very intelligent.
Very intelligent about it. So like, yeah, just the genius that he was, man. Like, so he was so great. Let's see, just touching on life events of having to grow up, basically, Ben Affleck's character, Ollie, realizing that now that you have a kid, what you used to do might not be a thing no more. You have responsibilities. You got to change diapers. You got to watch the kid. You got to, like, you can't just, work all the time and just, be like, hey, Dad, can you watch the kid while I work? Like, you got to make some changes in your life. Like, it's not all about you anymore. That really, like, it's really weird how when I was younger, I completely just would have written this movie off. And now it makes no sense how, like, I just didn't see stuff like that before, where it's just life lessons. It's just like, showing you what may be in store for the future for some of us, I mean, it's really incredible. So, I would give it probably, I don't know if I would give it, I would probably give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8, which is a huge step from, like, when I was a teenager. I would have gave it
no.
a 3 or a 4, or maybe, just told people, oh, don't even watch it. It's just, some romantic comedy. It's not even a Kevin Smith movie, this, that, and the other. Like, and yeah, it's really weird how, like, now I'd give it like 7.5, maybe 8, which is a huge jump. So yeah, I think it's great. I would recommend anybody watch this movie, especially if you have kids. You're definitely going to relate to stuff. I know your parent, you may have had moments where your parents are just like, hey man, you gotta do the parent thing now. It's your job now. You got to do it. Like, I do love how he literally used his prior experience to factor into the job he had now, when he had to, like, when he was in the same situation later on, he had grown as a character. He was like, instead of flipping out on everybody, he was like motivational speaker or whatever.
Crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. He worked the crowd over, and like, it just shows how he grew as a character. So yeah, I'd give it like 7.5, maybe an 8. All right, so let's swirl around real quick back to Neighbor. We'll go ahead and get everybody's plugging in.
Yeah, can I talk about the last sponsor before we do that?
Oh yeah. Go ahead and plug the last unofficial Kevin Smith sponsor.
Hey kids, it's me, not Kevin Smith. But if you guys want to see more Kevin Smith, or even hear his voice, his beautiful, beautiful voice in your ears, join up for that Kevin Smith Club. Because like, you guys can become a mall rat for the low price of $5, where it gives you 3 weekly ad-free audio podcast, full access to the Smodcast Smarchive. That Kevin Smith Club Discord community, or that was for a clerk, or become a mall rat for $10. As a mall rat, you get everything the clerk gets, plus the Smithsonian screening room. Watched Wake and Bake and Silent Bob weekday mornings, where Smoke and Smitty will monologue about unimportant bullshit, bust out a script, and read or write reminiscent or rave the movies and TV shows he loves. Or become a fun employee. You get everything the clerk and mall rat gets. Plus, this is where the relationship starts to get physical, as a fun employee will get the shirts off our backs 4 times a year, each with a design not sold in any stores, exclusively to that Kevin Smith Club. And then the final one, there is more after this, but the one I am actually part of is the Yoga Hoser. The Yoga Hoser gets everything the clerk, mall rat, and fun employee gets, plus a Wake and Bake collection, a centerpiece of that Kevin Smith Club's Kev's morning show, Wake and Bake. So in 2002, Yoga Hosers will receive 4 pieces of TKSC exclusive Wake and Bake collection. First up is the Wake and Bake grinder and tray. The second piece is a bowl suitable for cereal or smoke. The third piece is a mug with Kevin Smith's face on it, not mine. And the fourth piece is a secret. Every piece in the Wake and Bake collection features a brand new art by great Nate Gonzalez. The other ones are like way pricier, which is like $75, which is like the fashionable male, and then there's like the $100 one, and then there's one where it's like $2,000 a year, and you literally sign up for that, and this is where it gets really crazy. You get everything like the previous ones get, plus and like a signed prop from like the movie, and then it only happens once though. You go to Kevin Smith's house, he cooks you supper, and then you go after supper. You go downstairs and record a podcast, which airs. And that's serious. Like I'm not joking. That's an actual tier for that Kevin Smith Club. $2,000 a year. So for $2,000, if you live in that area where you literally cook you supper. But like you guys got to understand too, Kevin Smith is a vegan, so.
Yeah.
So steak, definitely getting steak. Definitely steak, shrimp.
He did have something to show off. I have a little something to show off also.
Yeah. I'm forgetting everything.
I got show off stuff. Yeah. Are we all plugging ourselves now?
I mean, we're plugging anything and everything. You got something?
Yeah. Go and sign up for that KevinSmithClub.com.
We just keep stroking the Kevin there. Yeah. Stroking the Kevin.
That's what I'm gonna call it now on my
get me up on that Biggie screen there.
Let's see him. Let's see the Biggie.
What's the Biggie?
Let's see that beautiful face.
I want the Biggie, man. Give me the Biggie. All right.
Next thing, Biggie Shaq shows up in the chat.
Oh my god!
Like a chair out of the side of the head or something like that. So I picked up this. This is leading into our Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, because this is kind of the transition. Was the Clerks animated, right? I'm pretty sure the Clerks animated came out right before Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes.
2000 and 2001, I think. But I picked up this. This is the Tales from the Clerks. So this is the complete, all the comics in one trade paperback, and it's got everything in here. So, I mean, look, it's got all the issues. It's got the Blunt Man and Chronic. It's got the 3 Clerks issues.
I'd love to find some Blunt Man and Chronic comics. I need to look out for them.
And it goes anything from the original black and white issues, right into the color stuff too. So I'm stoked to read this. Yeah, there's some really cool, like, just remarks and everything like that from like really cool artists in here. I'm not sure to what extent they do. I think it's sometimes like commentary or writing about it, but it's stuff from like Arthur Adams, like J. Scott Campbell, Adam Hughes, like some really big artists and writers and stuff are making contributions to this. So I'm super stoked to read it.
Nice.
As far as stuff that I got going on, I will be on Chillmonger's show tomorrow, so that's the 3:00 Eastern Standard Time. So that's 33 burning questions with Chillmonger, and it's all about Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I have watched the first episode, and as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go watch episode 2.
I'm going to be doing that right after this stream, watching both episodes.
Yeah. I watched the 1 and then I was going to take a nap and I didn't. But like, I'm not going to spoil anything. It's just straight fan service. It's good. I mean, not to the point of like the Book of Boba Fett when they brought in stuff, but like you get some clarity on things that happen. And
but here's the thing about fan service. I don't know anybody that's like complaining that they're getting serviced. So if you're complaining that you're getting like, I don't know, man. Like
I'm being
I'm a
serviced
fan.
right
I'm
now.
a fan.
You can only
There's
see
no
from
way
here up,
that's
but
not dirty.
you know.
There's no way that's not dirty.
They show you his lightsaber.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! You too.
I mean,
for the low price
who's-
of $1,000 to see Kevin Smith's lightsaber.
It's not Yoda sized either, so there we go. No, other than that, don't really have much else going on, you know. With you guys next week, so it'll be on my channel, and hopefully
Next
it's
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. So 2 weeks. And then I guess now I'm on that schedule, so the same 2 weeks on the Saturday I'll be on Chillmonger's show as well. So it's I basically go on 1 week and take a week off. But that's what I got. Slowly downsizing comic books. So if anybody needs some comic books, you know, hit me up on the IG.
Did you really just say that out loud?
What?
That's anybody need comic books?
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
like.
all three of us immediately shot
I
our
got
hands
comic
up.
books, guys.
You should like rephrase that and be like, I have comic books for sale.
Yes, we might have a trade.
No, I don't sell any of my books, but like.
You
But,
like
if anybody wants to
pay for shipping.
I think the only person who could ship too comfortably would
Well,
be
give me
you.
first.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so who are we going to next? We'll go here to JD.
I do a show every Sunday, but I'm taking a little hiatus for the next 3 weeks. Comic and collectible treasures. I usually have them at noon Pacific Standard Time. The next one I'm going to do is probably 3 weeks down, but I'll be here 2 weeks in Neighbor to the North's channel to do Let's Talk Kevin Smith. So I'm super happy to hang out with these guys again. But I did have a little show and tell that I put on my Instagram. Shout out to you, my brother TM, for giving me the heads up on a Sunday. Kevin Smith threw his little Fat Man Beyond, and I freaking bought tickets, and I went with my wife and had a blast. They had me rolling, laughing, and I'm talking to him for a couple of seconds, and I got an autograph. Showed it on my Instagram channel, but I wanted to show it here just in case you guys don't follow. This is my Captain America signature from anybody that's done Marvel, from Sorenko, Jim Lee, Scott Williams. But one of my favorite ones now is Kevin Smith. So I was super stoked to get that. So that was my little Kevin Smith moment.
Oh, so it is totally legit.
And like literally, if you actually
you showed yours.
I can send you guys the link to that episode of Fat Man Beyond, and you can literally see that in the video, like on the table, you could see that shield.
But I will try to get on it again. My question didn't get picked, so I would have been on TV or their stream, which would have been I probably would have choked.
Well, I did see you at one point. You were in the back. It was like 1 second and you missed it. Like I ended up going back and watch. Like I see you. You're like.
So we were texting each other in our DM. TM. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna wave my hands, and I saw them move the camera towards us. So that was my 2 seconds of fame. But had a blast. Thank you verbally for giving me the heads up, and I'm definitely gonna check it out again. But that's it. I'll have probably a show in mid-June, and I'll be streaming some friends again, the community, and just showing off their collections and geeking out. And that's all I got, guys. Let's go to TM.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, I had this show. Of course, we're going to be with Neighbor of the North in 2 weeks. On opposite Fridays, I'll most likely, not this Friday coming up though, most likely be over on The Hunt because I am the current cover champion. But I have this week coming up off. So whoever the Tone has for me battling after that, who knows? But tune into The Hunt on Tony Sanders' channel. This Sunday, I think it's going to, I just got hit up today. and got asked if I would be on the show. And I'm not sure if it's on the Comic Beast channel, but I will be with Will, that's the Comic Beast, Jennifer, Comics Will Break Your Heart, Fire Guy Ryan, and Bearded Comic Bro, doing a monthly comic book review. And I think it'll be on Sunday. I'm not sure about the time, but definitely come check us out, see what comic books we're talking about. And then Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday. I think Roscoe's still in the chat. Tuesday we'll be doing Roscoe's Late Night Addiction this Tuesday, and he has a lot to show off. He informed me he has a lot to show off, so I'm super excited to be talking with him about what we've been watching, what we plan to watch, and what we've been reading, and what we've accumulated this past week.
What time are you guys going on Late Night Addiction?
I think it's usually 11 p.m. Eastern, so it'll be pretty late.
That's perfect. I wake up at 3 a.m. now, so I'll catch you guys when you're real deep into it.
Yeah, because like I'll literally just before that show, I'll be off of work, and then I'll probably like shower, go to sleep until then, because we're gonna be like up late, and then I'm literally just gonna be going off of that show to work. So, and then chatting with the comic community every Wednesday. This past Wednesday I had Uncanny Swag. This coming up Wednesday, I think it is I want to say GP Venom.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Sweet.
And then I think that's it. Becoming that Kevin Smith Club member and listen to Tell Him Steve Dave.
Oh, yeah, Lord Chucks is here.
And
the last.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Chuck?
No spine ticks this week, and I don't know if there will be any spine ticks going forth, but I know Phil probably will be taking that spot on Saturdays. I'm not sure, and he does have a new name coming out, which I've been like pestering Roscoe for that name, but he won't give it to me. He's like, it'll soon come out. But I'm excited because Phil is going to be rebranding. I'm super excited.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the guy that has the controls got scared.
how did that happen? I was caught unaware. So let's see. What do I have coming up? June the 10th, there will be another episode of Tunes and Collections with John Jarvis, the bass player for, oh God, the list is infinite. Right now he's in a band called Scour with Phil Anselmo, who used to be in Pantera and Down. He's also in Agoraphoric Nosebleed, Strong Intent. He's been in Pig Destroyer. He basically just, if you need a bass player and you're a heavier band, he's your dude. Like he's played with so many bands, it's not even funny. Filled in on tours. I mean, dude's just he's hitting on all cylinders. So I have an interview with him. I believe he is showing his record collection. I'm starting to see a theme here with musicians. I kind of should have expected it. Let's see. There, like Tia mentioned, there's no Spine Ticks Saturday that I know of. Let's see. Do I have anything coming up this weekend? Every Tuesday that I'm available. So like we did one last week. So every 2 weeks on that rotation. So what, not next week, but the week after. I will be on Cardboard Crazy's channel. We have a show called Bench Warmers where we rip packs of cards, any cards. Last time there was G.I. Joe cards, Marvel cards, baseball cards, Jeff Gordon cards, far more Jeff Gordon cards than anyone knew even existed. Like it was, thank you, Swag, because like we all were like, how many more?
Does it show highlights of like each of his 2,000 turns per race, left turns per race, or like what's the deal?
Like it was literally like, I mean, do you have any more? And he's like, yeah. And
that's a NASCAR joke, by the way.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they're coming in for another left turn.
Which is funny because I mean, yeah, it's all left turns, but It's left turns with 4 other cars right next to you at 200 miles an hour. It's probably terrifying. I probably couldn't do it. I probably couldn't do it.
I got kicked off a stream for asking what beer pairs best with 2,000 left turns, and I got kicked off.
It's either Natural Light or Bud Light is the official sponsor of NASCAR. Like they might not be official, but they are unofficial. Like it's Natural Light and Bud Light. You have to drink one of the two every time you watch a race.
I said Natty Ice. I've never had a Natty Ice, but I want to.
No, you don't.
No.
I've never even heard of them, but like the only ice drink that I know is like black ice. You ever drink that? That's I don't know, man. Like the malt on that is just crazy, but you get drunk. It's like 6%.
I like Molson. I've had Molson.
No malt.
No.
You guys are Canadian, Labatt Blue.
Nobody drinks that shit, Tyler.
Yeah, no.
No.
That's like
Americans drink that shit when they come up here. That's about it.
Like I don't know. It's not like I haven't drank like for a reason. It's just I don't like getting drunk, and that like I feel like that like I'm old at heart, and I feel like drinking is like a young game. And
I remember when
I never drank in so long, but like yeah. We used to like make fun of people for drinking Flat Blue. Like, oh yeah, just drink that skunk piss.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Molson Canadian.
I'm trying. Okay, so in 2 weeks we will have another one of these. It will be on Neighbor's channel, as said before, for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So there's that coming up.
Yeah, I fucked this one up. This is supposed to be on my channel. But
whatever.
I just like passed it off to Tylox. Thank you for saving my ass.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
And then let's see. I'll have haul videos as per usual. And maybe a break video coming up here. I'm doing breaks every once in a while now too. So just have to, subscribe, turn the bell on. I'm always doing something. I always feel like I'm forgetting something as well though too. I have to start writing stuff down.
Show the hair, man. The hair.
Oh,
You're nominated, man. You're gonna be nominated for this hair.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on.
Also, I will shamelessly plug myself. The CBC Awards. Thank you, Tim. Hold on a second, Tim. Don't move. There you go. Our nominations are open right now, and I would greatly appreciate everyone's support for the best hair, hands, and beard category. I've actually seen a lot of people who actually nominated me, and I appreciate every single one of you. I think Marcus did, and Simon did, and Bookworm, did you do it as well? I think you did it as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much, I think, all I've got coming up here lately.
I think everybody should go there and nominate me for best speculation channel.
I'll jump on that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I will literally, if I see my name come up on that, I'd be like, no, take me down from that. That's bullshit.
I'm gonna do it.
TM specs so hard.
Yes.
I didn't nominate you for that, Tim. I nominated Rude,
That makes sense.
the Spec King.
Spec King.
So I guess that's it. Hour and 30 minutes. Woo!
Wow.
Ooh.
I mean, we went
there
went
was
longer on this than we did on.
And there's no gloss over an hour and 30 in.
Yeah.
So I think it's shocking that everybody enjoyed it this much. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Go check out all these gentlemen. Neighbor to North is on oh God, I don't know where I'm going. On IG, JD, YouTube, TM Nerdy, of course, on YouTube. And everybody have a good Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. People seem to overindulge and then want to drive home. So be careful, everybody. And if you're one of those people who wants to do that, don't. Like, there's Uber, there's cabs, there's any walk. I don't care. Just don't stumble into traffic too. That would be horrible. So we will see everybody later. Everybody have a good one. Peace.
Peace.